Hey guys, welcome back to
Maturity,
where we may not always be mature,
but we'll always be giving you the tea, honey.
well, we're gonna aim to be mature. That's the whole point of this podcast.
Yes.
My name is Manal,
And I'm Asha.
and today we're gonna be talking about a quick story.
I have a story, which is a real story.
Tell me. You know I love it.
This was in the news. I don't know how. Don't quote me because I was skim reading it. So,
Okay.
so it's in Australia, and there's this couple. He won over $1 million.
From cryptocurrency?
Yes.
Okay.
So they sent it over. The person who was putting in the money put in her phone number. She actually won 100 instead of $1 million, and it came through.
Wait. Is this like the lottery or actually like Bitcoin?
It was. They said crypto. They gave her $1 million instead of 100. So the husband and wife received the money, and then obviously, as a sane person would do, use the money. I would do that. I'm sorry, but you just got that. Are you gonna use it knowing that you got that, and you know who the source was?
Wait, do I know that it's not? If I knew that it was incorrect and I knew I only won £100, I know that that's gonna come back. So if I go and spend it, I'm gonna be deaded $1 million that I don't have.
Maybe, exactly.
If I don't know when I genuinely think I win $1 million, yeah, I probably would spend it. Not spend it, but invest it or something. I don't know.
So that's what they did. They invested it. They bought a lot of land. They bought properties.
But $1 million is not that much.
It's not.
So actually, $1 million Australian dollars is probably like what, 750,000 pounds.
Maybe.
So that's like one property.
No, but they actually got more.
Oh, is it?
They got more lands. They bought more lands.
Oh, maybe it's cheaper there.
Maybe
Okay.
it's like, it depends on the area. 7 months after, the company then found out that they gave the wrong amount to the person.
Oh, 7 months.
I know, that's the thing. 7 months, honey.
7 months money's gone.
I know.
Like whether it was a mistake or not.
It's gone. You took 7 months to find out.
So there has to be some sort of insurance.
Apparently not. So what they've done now is they are in court. They have to pay back every penny.
No, I don't think that's fair.
I know. 7 months? It's not my fault.
No, that's not fair.
It's not my fault that you gave me the wrong amount.
No. They should have some sort of insurance. Whoever made the mistake should pay for it.
So now they're in court and they have to pay, every
Do you
penny.
think they're going to win? Oh,
don't
it's
know.
already been like confirmed that they have to pay every penny?
Yeah.
Honestly, 7 months, the money would no longer be in my account.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
7 months? Like, it wasn't 1 2 day. Like, that's fine. I can give you back 7 months? That's close to a year.
Yeah. Well, how do they expect us to have $1 million in my account just waiting?
I know.
No. Unless they knew. If they knew that they were only supposed to win 100.
Maybe. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe they knew that was the wrong amount.
They might as well flee the country because I'm sorry.
True.
I mean, don't take my advice. I'm not a lawyer. Don't do that, actually. I don't want to be held accountable. But honestly, start a new life at this point.
Yeah.
How are you going to come up with $1 million like that?
I would leave
I think
the
over a
country.
lifetime, maybe it's doable. Just return everything that you bought, sell it, and then...
That's a lot of money.
It is. But some people who have a salary of like $70K a year can pay that off in 15 years. So...
I'd be so annoyed still.
Yeah. So the topic today is about career wives. There are a lot of cultures out there that have ideas on career wives. And I think because Islam encourages women to get educated and to be independent to a certain extent, and just to be independent. And honestly, I feel like we're both feminists.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see our take on this. So there's a post here that I wanted to read out to you and get your opinion on.
Okay.
Being
Let's
a
hear
fellow
it.
career wife,
Let's
woman,
hear it.
entrepreneur,
Yeah.
Okay, so a guy writes, an honest question about career women and career wives. Disclaimer, I'm not against women making an earning. The Sharia allows it. Who am I to object? ? And I believe that in certain instances where a woman is divorced or widowed, it might be necessary. And also certain medical fields like gynecology should exclusively be for women to practice. That's his opinion. My question is about the new trend wherein girls are expected to equally earn degrees, qualifications, and work full-time. The trend is still relatively new, even in the West, as it only became normal post-World War II. While it does somewhat empower, quote-unquote, women, it most certainly comes at a cost. He wrote the costs of why a woman being a career wife or just a woman working. These are the costs that he's accumulated a list of. Okay?
Oh my God. Okay.
The following are significant issues at hand. I know you're going to be like, eye roll.
Oh my God, I want to hear it.
Okay, number 1, he writes, Western studies have shown that more educated and qualified a woman is, the less options remain for her in finding a partner. This was originally only common amongst non-Muslims, but now is increasingly becoming an issue within the Muslim community. Number 2. Okay. Western studies have also showed the drastic increase in divorces due to the increase of options for women.
You're not going to add that in. What?
Yeah, that's what he said. Number 3. That's why we're laughing. I feel like that's why we're laughing. We're like, this is ridiculous because we're not married to men like this, but fine, let's move on. Number 3, reasons to why it's important for women not to be successful, apparently, and be empowered. Both parents are outside the house earning a living, with children are being raised 8 hours a day by the state.
Okay.
Number 4, with both parents working, it is unclear who actually is the leader of the household and family.
Oh, wow.
Number 5, increasing likelihood of affairs as wives are spending a huge fraction of their time around other men.
Wow.
Sorry, go ahead.
I can't deal. I just can't deal already. Are you saying by now every woman who's working in an office is like cheating?
And then are you saying it's only a woman thing, so then men should go and get... If this is your theory on working a 9 to 5, why is your concern with affairs happening when women do it? Are you saying that it's normal for men to go get 9 to 5 because you think that they would most likely get an affair, but it's okay because a man is doing it?
Yeah, exactly. Statistically, men are the one who always are cheating. How it's not even making sense.
Yeah.
Like, make it make sense, please.
Brothers, how comfortable are you with having your wives or potential wives spending a huge portion of their time around other men while you are not around?
What?
But that can go for both ways then.
Yeah.
Why should women be comfortable with their men going 9 to 5, spending time around other women? Unless you think affairs always is okay for a man and not a woman. If that's your theory, that affairs happen when they're in that environment. Okay.
Oh.
For thousands of years, society has been made by the nuclear family, wherein earnings, providing, and protection was exclusively the responsibility of a husband and father. While the wives 90% of the time were busy with the child rearing and house chores. Yes, exceptions did exist, but that doesn't determine the general norm. The last 60 years drastically changed, and this spelling serious societal consequences that we're witnessing now in 2022.
Wow.
We need to have an honest conversation about the direction we are headed as an ummah and the current trajectory, especially those of us living in a non-Muslim country.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he's from a non-Muslim country then, because he's saying that. But it's mental.
You know what it is? I'm not surprised that these are his concerns. I don't agree with it, but I'm not surprised because a lot of the time men take their roles so seriously that it pours into the role of a woman and how they're so threatened by a woman working and making her own living or being a career-driven wife. I know that you and I both agree that you can have both. You can have a family and a nuclear family, but you can also have a career-driven wife.
Yeah.
It takes compromise, but it can happen.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But the
Yeah.
fact that you're threatened by the roles of women going out there and making something of themselves.
Yeah. It just screams insecurities.
I'm sorry.
Very insecure.
This is yes, we're progressing, but this is still you shouldn't feel threatened by this. You should raise women that are like this because in the end of the day, let's be honest. Back when the reason why Islam encourages women to take their money, to keep their savings and to do something for themselves is because there's always been a situation where a woman is left vulnerable and men can just pick up and leave, whereas women most of the time have responsibilities that men don't.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that leaves us where? So in the past decades, a lot of women didn't have financial security, would not leave their husband who was physically or emotionally abusive.
No.
And that left them struggling and who knows where.
Yeah.
Whereas now, if we're in those predicaments still happen, right? But we're just more prepared to handle ourselves within our security that Islam encourages.
100%.
But the fact that he's threatened by career-driven women is wild.
It's so crazy. Honestly, I just feel like he's very... Not he is, but people who generally think like that are insecure. And they need to think outside of the box.
Yeah. So his first point where he said Western studies have shown that the more educated, qualified woman is, the less options remain for her in finding a partner. It's wild. So you mean to say more insecure men are less likely to choose this very financially and like secure, emotionally secure woman because she's way above their criteria?
Yeah.
And that should be her problem?
That shouldn't be her problem.
That's wild to me that you've listened.
Shouldn't. And you know what? It should really kind of make him thrive even more. Like, absolutely. And just have that, not challenge, but you're working together. And marriage is all about working together. I think if I've told Mohammed, you know, let me work a bit more and then you can stay in and not even help with the acid, but be around him more, he would love that. I
feel like that's a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Why does one take away from the other where there can be a healthy like equation to how to make it work?
Yeah.
And also not every relationship is the same.
Yeah.
To bash all career women saying that they're less desirable, that's wild. Someone commented and saying it doesn't make sense that more education makes a person less desirable.
Yeah, that's so crazy to me.
And can we talk about Khadija radiallahu anhu?
Yeah.
Khadija was the wife of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And she was also a businesswoman. Mm-hmm. She was the first Muslim woman in Islam. Her whole character and everything that she emulated was so inspiring.
Yes.
That she made both things work. And how old was this? This was like thousands of years ago.
MashaAllah.
At a time where women weren't even respected or valued.
Yeah.
And you come from the same religion saying these ignorant things. I think it's just she set the way for women like us, career wives. She was like the first career wife. She's an OG. So I just feel like it's just shocking that he's actually threatened by that when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not threatened by her at all. And he actually like lifted her up and he supported her. And he admired her. Yes. Oh. It was so beautiful.
Before I was married, I would rather stay at home just because I see my grandma doing it. Yeah. And, you know, like, it's just like that dynamic, which is beautiful. And if it worked for them, then surely it's the right thing, you know, like, and if, but after marriage, I'm just thinking it shouldn't. Like,
oh, so your perception changed.
Definitely changed.
And what made that change?
Just because I felt like you can do both things, and especially if your husband is also very supportive in your dreams and aspirations and wants you to do even more, then like it makes your bond even stronger. And also like with the kids, like they can see the working mom and a businesswoman, and they can choose either one. You open your mind on a lot of things.
As long as you support one another, it could be a very beautiful, healthy relationship. Yeah. That is still sort of the aspect of having an Islamic household, a nuclear family. Roles are slightly encouraged to make both the best people that they could possibly be.
Yeah, and best parents.
And that's best parents for the kids. And that's, I think, what tests marriages sometimes. Yeah. And sometimes marriages, when they overcome that, it could be such a beautiful thing. Yeah. And no one marriage is the same. Like, no family is the same. Yeah. It shouldn't mean that you should feel so threatened, that you're concerned about women being empowered, working hard, making a living, and having children, and making it all work, because we could do it all. Yeah. And it only takes a threatened, insecure man to go on the internet and feel all this type of way and see if he has disciples. It's one thing to be concerned as if they don't know how to navigate in a relationship like this. But it's another to put us all in one bubble, because some women are stay-at-home moms, which is the hardest job of all.
Yes.
Some women balance both. Some women are actually the career wives, and the husbands help them balance both being a stay-at-home dad, or, you know what I mean? Like it's all an equation that's different for everybody.
Yeah.
So one person written, so for his point, so number 4, he wrote, with both parents working, it's unclear who actually is the leader of the household. Are we still doing this whole like leader thing?
I know.
There's respect, right?
Yeah.
And there's lanes, and you know what I mean? There's some things that just don't get crossed. But being unsure, questioning the role of who's what does what, because one of them is career driven more than what society deems appropriate.
It shouldn't
because
be.
it's not a religion thing. Actually shocks me. Someone wrote, I don't think this is true at all. If there's confusion there, it's always there. It's got nothing to do with both people working. You establish these roles when your marriage is established. And if there are any issues, it needs to be discussed. Quote unquote leading a family isn't just about being able to provide financially. She hit the nail on the head with that one.
You say it, sis.
She hit the nail on the head with that one. Because this is the thing. What do you mean by leading? There's one video I saw with Bob Marley, and then some silly interviewer was like, "Are you rich?" And Bob Marley's like, "Rich in what?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you mean rich in health? Rich in family? Rich in love? What do you mean? Because I don't require richness to just being financially secure.
That's true.
I could be rich in in health, and you know what I mean, in happiness and whatever." And I was just like, that's exactly it. What do you mean by leading?
Yeah,
the one that's more financially supportive, which I am assuming that's what he means.
Exactly.
But not every marriage, if you're more financially supportive, does not mean you're a leader.
Yeah. No.
Right?
No.
Another thing he said, his last point was why women should not be successful or work hard.
Or have a job.
Yes. Why women should not be career wives. His point number 5 is increasing likelihood of affairs. As people's wives are spending a huge fraction of their time around other men. Brothers, how uncomfortable are you having your wives or potential wives spending a huge portion of their time around other men while you're not around? Question mark, exclamation mark. So, but doesn't that, if your concern is one individual spending too much time with the opposite sex will lead to an affair, shouldn't that also follow up with men working a 9 to 5?
100%.
Wouldn't your concern also, or is it just just women frolicking around cheating on their husbands?
Left, right, and center.
When you're not looking, is that your idea of when?
Because that's what we do.
But if that's the case, if that's what you genuinely believe, wouldn't your concern also lie with men working around women?
Yeah.
And men Islamically should not be working around women, if that's what you think.
Yeah, exactly. Or is it because they're getting the money? So that's fine because they're earning and should be earning more than us. And
where do you draw the line? And also, how is that even a worry of yours unless it's something that's very normal with the opposite sex who does work? Do you know what I mean?
Bruh.
Is that what happens? And you think, and also history shows men are more likely to cheat on their wives.
Tell me about it.
Than women. But your concern is if women work,
then they will do it. Yeah. I'm sorry, but if we wanted to, we would do it even at the freaking shopping center.
Exactly.
It doesn't need to.
Oh my God, you hit the nail on the head. Yep. They can cheat anywhere.
Exactly.
If you really think at any opportunity, why even leave your house?
Yeah. There should have been she shouldn't have any guy coming into the house.
No, mailman's not allowed to drop anything off. Nothing.
No
because
Amazon
women
guy.
will cheat. You cannot let them out.
No, exactly.
One of the commenters said, women have always been statistically less likely to have affairs than men. If you're saying work increases the likelihood of affairs, then you're saying men are also inherently at risk of having an affair. That's literally what we were just talking about. You're also implying that women should be okay with their men spending hours around strange women while they're not around. But not the other way around, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to say that women shouldn't work at all, ever.
Bruh.
Islam actually does wonders for women and also encourages us to work hard and to make a living, but also make a family dynamic work.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to the conversations that you have with your partner before marriage, after marriage. Every relationship is different. And what works for you guys might not work with somebody else, but that's okay. As long as it works for you, it's okay.
Because everyone has different situations.
Thank you. And different times of their lives are different. One decade of your relationship might be different and to the next decade. You just never know where you'll be, but that shouldn't stop you from even trying. I feel like affairs always happened in the history of life. Men and women, whoever, not all people, but people do cheat. The likelihood of that increasing is not women working. It's just, and also in relationships that don't work out, if his concern is divorce, in the history, life has taught us that women are the ones that struggle the most with divorce. Men can just pick up and leave.
Exactly. We've got to deal with the child and the children.
Thank you. Men can go and have a whole new family.
Oh, yeah.
Where women don't. They have children that they have.
That's it.
It's less likely to happen. And I'm not saying it never happens, but it's less likely to happen. So where does that leave the woman who you've encouraged to not be financially secure or motivated or career motivated? That leaves her extremely vulnerable. But now when women are trying to go and create something of themselves while trying to like manage a family and life, you're threatened by this. But are you the one that's going to be taking care of this woman if her husband the marriage ends up dissolving?
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is 2024, honey. We as women need some sort of like, we don't need to depend on
security.
Anyone. Yeah, like, we've been taught so much different. You know what I've been thinking about, and it's slightly off topic, but I always think about how our parents treat girls different than the boys. Well, in Somali society anyways.
Same.
The girls, they're more stricter. They have to, alhamdulillah, my parents pushed me to drive early and all of this kind of stuff. And with the boys, it's like easier, let them go out. Oh, he's a boy, he's a man, and all of this kind of stuff. And like for us, like that used to, like, just thinking about it and hearing all of these stories used to like make me so angry. But they're actually helping us.
They are. Our parents had to not only unlearn what they've been taught in our communities back home, but also relearn to be comfortable with the idea that your daughters can go to school, get an education, get a PhD, not get an education, start a business, like learn to drive, do all these things. And they've had to unlearn, and then learn again. Practicing Muslim women know the roles of their husbands, and practicing Muslim men know their roles as well. There's much opportunity for communication and open dialogue within a marriage. Someone wrote, there's much opportunity for communication and open dialogue within a marriage. A marriage is a union of equals. Yes, equals, but different with their roles and scope of responsibilities. A good leader, whether it is a marriage, business, or politics, are always open to voices of those that follow them. Yo, this person ripped them apart.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, women, literally everybody wrote 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4.
Wow.
Right?
I love that.
Someone wrote, I understand that change is uncomfortable for a lot of us, and there are many other powers are interested in keeping things the same as they were. As often the case, it keeps things the way they pretend they were. Human societies has always been diverse, including societies within the folds of Islam. The Prophet, peace be upon him, brought a message that ushered in an era of unprecedented equality between the sexes within the Arab Peninsula, and it was not well received at first. In fact, many arguments similar to these brought forward to challenge Islam and the Prophet. Women have always worked in or outside of the home, though this was certainly true during the Prophet's lifetime and succeeding generations. Many wealthier families and female slaves do much of the housework. Everyone else had to work in and outside the house. Archaeological evidence overwhelmingly shows, via women's skeletal remains in many areas, that female members of society are more repetitive labor-based damage than men's. Women have generally been workhorses, and for farms, houses, accepted to carry burdens, produce all the basic goods, and often sell and buy materials for the home. Men roles varied. They might be occupied with warfare, hunting, herding, trade. They sat around as political leaders, but mostly they just shared in the work and took up various tasks as they appeared. Women did a huge amount of work, and the men controlled the money, power, and autonomy that came from it. Is this fair? No. Islam came as a mercy to all of us. and establish the rights of women and men because this situation was unjust. We don't want to go backwards. Let's be optimistic and find ways to form happy homes and families while pursuing fulfilled careers and our own rights. We have the right to own our own lives, income, and purpose in life. We both have duties in raising our children and supporting one another in shared relationships. Before it comes up, yes, women are carriers of children and must breastfeed. For the most of history, it did not prevent women from undertaking brutal manual labor, jobs, and other roles. This was infrastructure, tradition, and systems in place that allowed women to bring their young children to their working space.
Wow. You say it, sis.
Okay, in conclusion, I feel like this was such an interesting topic and I want to talk about it again. I would love to hear your inputs down in the comment section below. Anybody who doesn't agree gets blocked. No, I'm kidding.
Could you imagine? I'm sure we're not going to block anyone.
I am.
They're all going to be on our side.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you guys are all woke. But let's have a part 2 of this. Let us know if there's any topics you guys would like to discuss down in the comment section below.
Okay, so Manal, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Would you rather have an epidural? Like, okay, you're in labor.
Okay.
You have I think this already happened to you, epidural, and it only worked on one leg or something like that?
Well, yeah.
So it wasn't working correctly?
It worked up to my knees.
Okay. Or do it cold turkey without any epidural?
Well, the epidural was as if I didn't feel anything. So it was as if I was doing it naturally.
Okay, so what if it was half working?
40%?
Yeah.
I would definitely take it.
I guess. Yeah, I know that's...
Even if it was 0.2%, I would take it.
Why was I even asking that question?
For those of you who want to have kids, and for those of you who have kids, some of you guys will relate with this. Some of you guys would be taking notes. Okay? Yeah. We've done it a couple times.
Yeah, I've done it once.
Actually, yours is the most... Mine is the most recent, but yours was right before mine. Actually, you can literally go around saying that we planned our pregnancies together. Like, how funny is that?
Wait, should we say how I found out? Do you remember outside my house?
Yeah. Go for it.
So I'm 4 months in, pregnant. So Manal comes to me and gives me the ultrasound with, I think it was like the elephant picture on the ultrasound. It's like just a cover from the NHS. She's like, oh, I've got something for you. And then she gives me that. Knowing me, I'm always forgetful. I was like, shit. Like, what sort of mom am I? Like,
how did I leave my one ultrasound phone at your house?
Like, oh my God, Asha, is so typical of you leaving stuff at people's houses. And I was like, oh, thanks. But I'm looking at it like, wait, is this mine? I swear I had an elephant. Wait, I'm so confused.
Mine was like a giraffe or something, right?
Yeah. And then she gives me like a little bag with baby clothes on. I was like, oh, thank you. It's so sweet.
Just in time.
Yeah.
Thanks. But there was 2 of the same onesies.
Yeah. And I was like Manal, mashallah, Allah Mubarak, she's always giving and she always gives gifts and stuff. And I was like, that's so sweet. Like, you've already given me enough. And then you're like, no, there's 2. Like, Asha, keep looking.
Why
I'm
is
like,
there 2, Asha?
Yeah.
You have 2. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm like, they're 2. Same size.
Yeah, what's going on? I'm like, wait. I'm still looking at the ultrasound. I'm like, I swear I had an elephant. I'm so confused. And she's like, no, I'm pregnant. I was like, what?
I had to literally spell it out for her. I'm like, no, that's my baby.
Yeah.
No effing way. No way. And literally the whole neighborhood could hear her being like, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
You're pregnant. Like, I was like, oh my God. Yeah. It's early days.
Yeah.
Shush. Yeah, so we actually spent our pregnancies together pregnant.
Yes.
It was my second baby. It was your first. And we have gone through it.
We did.
Ugh. The trauma.
I know.
Same hospital. Both shit situations.
Yeah.
Obviously, can't blame the NHS workers, but we can blame NHS.
Yeah.
Long story short, if you're planning on giving birth in the UK, Don't
Yeah.
go,
Oh my God.
go abroad. I've saw people giving birth in like Dubai, and their experience is like 5 stars. Yeah. Did you see those TikTok? It's like as if TikTok is rubbing it in my face.
Oh no.
Like you could have had this.
Put you down. You got a little section.
Both of our situations were wild.
My pregnancy, like at the beginning, I was like on cloud 9. I'm pregnant. Oh my goodness. Yo, it was like, I was obsessed with that phase.
And you know what's crazy? Like, the second pregnancy is very different from the first. I feel like I went through 2 different different pregnancies. I really thought it would be somewhat of the same. It's not. It's as if you've never experienced pregnancy before.
That's
you know?
crazy.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah. So what's the difference between
So
them?
with Adam, I was so cute. Girl, I looked like I was not pregnant with a beach ball. Like, perfectly round. My symptoms were morning sickness for the first 3 months, but then after that I feel like it was just like smooth sailing. I was well enough to go out with my friends, take photos, like do cute things, brunches. Second pregnancy, when you're pregnant with a child and you're pregnant, like when you already have a child and then you're pregnant, it's a different experience. There's no like daydreaming, like you said.
Yeah.
You literally forget the fact that you're pregnant. You're just like, I do this. I have to pick him up from school. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Oh my God, help me. No. It's more like chaotic. Whereas the first pregnancy, you're like going for walks, holding your tummy, like.
I know, right?
You know?
Like, stop talking to me. I need to just.
Yes. When they're like, sit down, she's pregnant. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas then when second pregnancy, they're like, sit down, she's pregnant. I'd be like, girl, I got no time.
Yeah.
Like, look, do you see that kid is eating dirt? Like, I gotta go get him, you know?
That's so cute. But even with the second pregnancy, you were glowing, mashallah.
Thanks, girl.
You
I was
were.
not.
No, you were.
Oh my God. You know, people would flat out be like, I know you're having a girl because I just know. And
No.
I'm like, how do you know? How do you know? The internet's ruthless.
Oh
How do
my
you know
God.
I'm having a girl? What do you mean? They say she takes your
No.
beauty. And I'm like,
Oh, hell no.
it's not even a backhanded compliment. It's
No.
just an insult. But they really
No.
say it as if they're complimenting you.
I know.
Like, you should be happy your unborn baby is taking your beauty. I'm like, other
That is
than
not.
that, I feel like second time around was just completely different. But they're both different genders. Maybe that had something to do with it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
So how did you feel when you were pregnant with Yasser?
So the first 3 months, I never had a craving.
Really?
Never had a craving. Like,
Okay.
there was no one specific item that I was like, oh my God, I need that. A lot of the things I'm like, I'm going to gag. Keep that away from me.
Just by looking at it, you're like, get that. Yeah.
Yeah. And the worst thing is when you're scrolling on Instagram, that's when you find every single food in there.
And you want to eat it?
No, I just want to gag. I just want to
I was
gag.
the opposite. I wanted to
Oh.
eat everything I saw.
Really?
Yeah. So like someone was eating sushi on TikTok. I would immediately go to Deliveroo and be like, I need to order sushi for the
Really?
baby. Yeah.
No, I was the opposite. I was like, ugh, keep that away from me.
Is it?
Yeah, I was so annoyed. Every scroll is just like food. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And for today, we're wrapping up. But make sure you review, comment. Oh my God, why did I say review? Like the thumbs up.
Yeah, that
You
part.
say that 'cause,
Make sure you guys comment down below. Let us know what other topics you guys would like us to discuss. And make sure you thumbs up this video. And tune in next time for another episode of
Maturity.
Bye, guys.